All right, folks, listen, this is probably like a classic and a favorite for everybody that's out there, right? And if you haven't had it, here's a treat for you. Today, we're making a Salisbury steak recipe, and we're gonna do it over a bed of mashed potatoes. Let's get it. Okay, so look, I pulled out my ingredients on this one right here so that you guys can see. We kind of like just moving it along, you know what I mean? Instead of just always measuring them out, it is okay to just have them here. Now, don't forget, the full ingredient list is on my website, smokinandgrillin.ab.com, and that's WITAB.com. With that being said, when you look at that ground beef right there, that is that 80-20. Let's get it. Okay, so look, real simple. I'm gonna take my ground beef, I'm gonna put that in that bowl right there, right? And then what we wanna do is we wanna put our ingredients in here. Now, if you kind of like look at what I'm doing, you're gonna start to think like, man, this is going together almost like what? Meatloaf, folks. That's what's gonna make it nice and moist, and we don't wanna condense them too much. So, this is what we get ready to do. So we're gonna start right here. I'm gonna go ahead and hit my egg and get that going. Now we add some breadcrumbs. Next, we're gonna add, the W sauce, right? This is what I'm using right here. So sometimes some people ask me like, hey, what is the W sauce? You know what I mean? It's worse. You know what I mean? So look, we just put in about a tablespoon. Next, we start adding, our garlic powder and our onion powder. So you guys can just see why I say it's getting real similar. You know what I mean? You're seeing it come together almost as if we were doing a meatloaf, right? So this is where we're gonna get that flavor from. We got the egg that's gonna help with the binding, breadcrumbs to get everything to like hold together and stick to, and to give it that little, little bit of texture. Now we're gonna come with our salt and our peppers. I'll start with the pepper, and then here, a generous pinch of salt. Now, best part, sometimes we gotta get in there and mix everything together. So I'm gonna get in here with my hand. I'm gonna do a lot of folding and mixing, but not compacting. So now we just get it, work it like that. Make sure you break that egg, I don't always take the egg and just pre-scramble it before I put it in here. You know what I mean? But right now, I just want to fold this just the way you guys see me doing it. I give it a little bit of a mash, bring it over, right? And I look at it. You can see if you need to add more breadcrumbs to it, you can. But I give you guys, what I think it'll be right. If you're using about a pound and a quarter of ground beef, right? Now, the fat inside of the, ground beef is gonna keep it nice and moist. We're gonna get that flavor, especially when you're using that W sauce. Get that dark undertone, from that. It just represents, especially when you're doing gravy, it just makes you think that way. But the taste is amazing. Okay, so once you finish folding it and you look at it like this, listen, you don't wanna just like overwork the ground beef, right? So you want it like this, not too compacted. This is fine. Now, we're gonna divide this up into 4 equal sized balls. Then we press them down and get our nice shape, right? So let's just start by doing this, just to make sure. If you guys got a scale, you can do that. You know what I mean? I know I'm always out here technical, but this is cool. Just let's try to get them as close to possible, this way. All right, so once you got them all similar to where they should be, you should come up with something like that, right? So what I'm gonna do is, and I wanna show you this one part too. This is a little bit of a pro tip. If you take this and you whether you got gloves on or don't, you can put a little bit of cooking oil on your hands and it'll help you, with this process so nothing to really like stick to your hand, right? So we just put it like that. Nice. Okay, so look, now we get ready to go ahead and put a little heat underneath this this cast iron, right? It's nice and cold, But right now, we're gonna heat it up. This right here is my burger press. I wanna say thank you to everybody that had bought these. We only got about like 12 or 13 of these left. You know what I mean? These right here, nice to take your burger and just go ahead and press it down, right? So I'll take this, put that there, and we're gonna bring these patties over here to that. I'm gonna let this build up just a little bit, but I am gonna put a little bit of this cooking oil down, which will be my garlic infused olive oil. I'm gonna put that down, you know what I mean? Then we're gonna press, and then we're gonna cook them. All right, so now let's go ahead and get a little bit of this going on. Just a little bit. You don't need a whole lot. Remember, it's 80-20. You know what I mean? Now that 80-20 will release some of that 20% fat content that's in the inside of there. So let's go ahead and just coat the bottom. That's all you need. Now we just go ahead and place these. Whew. Once they touch that, you know, the hot cast iron, boy, what kicks back smells so good. Now, I'm not making smash burgers, so if I was, I would only probably put 2 in here. You know what I mean? Reason being, because when you smash them, they kind of like spread, right? What I'm doing is setting them up just like they are, you know, a smash burger. I got myself some wax paper. I put this right here over the top, and I just bring this down. I wanted to have a little bit of girth to it, right? So I just take a look. That's good. That's kind of big, but that'll work. Right? And then we just finish these up. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, just prep my onion. You gotta do whatever you wanna do, however you wanna get it. What I'm doing is just gonna peel back a couple of these layers. I'll just cheat it a little bit. Do a little 1-layer peel like this. And then I cut them down into like slithers. This is gonna be the onion that's gonna be inside of the gravy, folks. So it's up to you how you make it. You know what I mean? Main thing is we gotta get that onion in there. Okay, so now we're gonna give some tips on making like just a burger, right? I'm using a very, very low, it's not very low like that, it's like a medium. Is there such thing as saying medium? Yeah, medium low. You know what I mean? I'm not too hot, right? Because I want to still be able to cook, but I don't want to sear and burn the bottom, right? So now I'm gonna take my spatula. First I move them like this, and when I see that they will move, see when they move like that, and these are thick. So I'm gonna flip these over. This one probably take, as thick as I made these will probably go about 4.5 minutes. It's been about that time, right? So if I take it, and I take it like this, and then I flip it over, let's look and see what the bottom look like. That's what you want. You see that right there? That's on its way. We're not cooking it too fast. You see that right there? Sometimes when we make them thick, the pan is too hot. You burn them, you dry them out, just keeps them juicy. We did all of that work, right, to make it right. Then we just flip these over. Now, I'm not gonna pat myself on the back, but I am gonna get myself a piece of cheese though in just a minute and put that over the top. No, I'm just joking. But now you guys got, you know, understand what I'm talking about. You know, when you flip them over and they look like this, it only take about four minutes maybe. You know what I mean? It really depends on the thickness of your burger, you know, your burger patties, and that'll do it right there. Now we're gonna go another just 4 minutes right on the dot, then we take these out. And we finish. You see that down there, that fine? You know we making gravy, folks. Now, it's been 4 minutes. Turn off my fire. And what we're gonna do is just put these over here on this paper plate. Now notice I did not line this with a paper towel. You know why? Because I don't want to lose none of my juices from these, right? So we just leave them like this. And you see those right there? Those are done right. Now I want you guys to come here and take a look. Look at this right here. You know what I mean? It might be a little bit of stuff in here. I just take my spatula and whatever I can bring over here, I'll take a spoon just to get the rest of it up. But notice how I drain back, because that's our flavor, folks. We talking about making a gravy. This is the stuff that makes the gravy great. Not all of that, those packages and all of that kind of stuff. You're gonna notice that I'm only gonna be using salt and pepper and this right here that was left over, and that's gonna give us a great gravy. Okay, you know the fire was off, right? So listen, cast iron gonna hold a little bit of that heat. Now I'm finna drop my butter in. Believe me, that's gonna start melting, just like you guys see. You might even hear it just a little bit. All right, so now I'll just take this and move this around. I'm not finna remove no more bits or nothing like that out of here. That was enough, right? So once this melts, I'm gonna turn my fire back on, and then we getting ready to introduce them onions. You know I like to start with those onions, folks. Now I turn my fire, you know what I mean? I'm running like a little medium flame. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna introduce these onions, right? Now I'll leave them long like this. Really, they just were connected. If they break open, that's fine. If they don't, I go ahead and do that anyway. I'll tell you why, because listen, when they hit this hot oil, you know what I mean, and this butter right here, you know what happens to them. They start to shrink. All right, now we get ready to add the mushrooms. Now this part is up to you. You don't have to add mushrooms, but your boy right here, I like them. And because I'm sitting next to somebody right now, you know what I mean, they don't really like mushrooms, so I didn't put as many as I would like to. But I love my gravy to have onions and mushrooms in it. But you guys can see how this is just coming together. Now what we're gonna do is just start to cook this down. I wanna see these mushrooms get nice and soft, you know what I mean? And even when I see them start to shrink, I know they're right. But once I see that color going where they were raw, that means they done picked up this onion, butter, you know what I mean, and that 20% of that beef, you know, that beef juice. Yes, sir. Now, not to pat myself on the back, but if you come in here and look right now, you see it, you know it's right. Come on, talk to me. I ain't gonna take it all the way down. You know what I mean? Yeah, that right there, she right. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add just a little bit of this. Not just a little bit, it's only a couple tablespoons of this all-purpose, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and add it now. I can add all of that in. If it was 1 cup, I like to do it a little bit in increments. Now notice how I do this. I let it all be in here, and what I'm trying to do now is just get it to catch all of the liquid that's inside of here, right? All of the fat, all of the goodness, that's what it's doing. And we cooking out that flour taste, right? That's why you don't put that, you know, your beef broth in right away. But you see that? I'm looking at the way the onions moving around. I know, it ain't fair. You know what I mean, to have to watch something like this, but I promise you, I'm giving you the key so you guys can go out and replicate this and it'll just be nice, right? I don't need all of them other flavors in there because when it's done right, them onions are gonna release what it's supposed to, along with, you know, the combination of everything that's inside of this. That's what makes it super fire. And you can taste your gravy. All right, now we come with the beef broth. And I heard what I just said, y'all. I think I said beef broth. I don't know, beef broth? There we go. But look at that, look at the color though, mainly. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. Look at that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and raise this fire up just a little bit. We wanna have a medium flame now. You know what I mean? Because we wanna get this up to temp. All right, so you see this right here? We done brought it back up. Now I'm just gonna put in a little bit of this W sauce, about a tablespoonful, you know? That right there give it that deep, rich, like a smoky, rich type of, you know, not texture, but a taste to it. And then you get that whisk and just move that around just like you see. Next, we're gonna hit it with that salt and pepper. I'm gonna pull out my spoon so that I can taste it, and then we finna cook this down. Now, a telltale sign that you on the right track, you can look, as I'm whisking this and stirring this around, I can see how it hits the side. I can see it leaves a little coat. You know what I mean? That tells me we're on our way, right? So now we're gonna reintroduce our patties, right? So let's get those in there, right? And then this is gonna kind of like just, well, for one, it's gonna it's gonna cook these to the desired temperature so that they fully, you know, cook, right? I can tell you these are nice and soft, you know, so I put these on like that. Let me go ahead and grab myself, you know, a spoon. I like to put some on the top like this. Now, I didn't say it before, but you're gonna wanna have a cover, you know what I mean, a lid. Okay, so let's say you don't have one and you use the cast iron like myself. Maybe you don't have one for yours. All you gotta do is get some some foil, and just go ahead and put it on top. You know what I mean? We just wanna keep what we can in here. It's only gonna take about 10 minutes. You know what I mean? So you see that? I'll take this, put this on the top, and I'm gonna set a timer and I'll see y'all in 10 minutes, folks. Okay, so listen, this is done. I just took a peek at it. I'll break this away from myself. Again, it like built up some steam. Remember, always break away so you don't get none of them steam burns, right? If you pay attention and you look right here, this is what it looked like. Look at that right there. Now, if you guys want a thicker gravy, you know what I mean? You can add a little bit more flour to it, you know what I mean? And you can cook it how you want to do it. But I think this right here is, oh my goodness. You know, look at that. And with the mushrooms, come on, folks. You know, I need to get in here and get me some of them onions. Come on, there goes some. But look, I don't want to play with my food no more. I want to put this on this bed of mashed potatoes. Now, I didn't show you guys how to make these mashed potatoes, but in the recipe, I will give you guys a full ingredient list and tell you guys how to make it. Super simple. I mean, I don't know if that's worth me doing that, to show you guys, just trust. It's only like about a couple of little steps and you'll come up with this. You see that right there? Maybe you ain't right. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get that on top so I can hurry up and cut one of these and I can get right into this meal. All right, look, you see it, little onion hanging down, you know what I mean? Let me get a little bit more gravy on this back end. Oh, I done lost my onion. Oh, picked up another one. No, we gonna get this right, folks. Ooh. With all that being said, all that ooh and ah, cheers, y'all. Hey, you know what? Look at this right here. You can just tell me, are you for real right now, AB? I might have went a little overboard, folks. Hey, it's nothing like good food, especially when food, like this, to take you back to your childhood. This just makes me miss my mama, and things like that, like my mama, my grandmama. Just miss having a whole family around the table, stuff like that. So love these comfort foods like this. Now, super simple. Don't forget, it's on my website, smokingandgrillinwithab.com, WITAB.com, right? If you guys think that I should have added something else or you want like to tell me about it, then, let me know down in the comment section below. Tell me what you would do to make this, make it better or just make it your own. Love to hear about it. Maybe I'll make it mine like that. Now, if you're new to the channel, let me take this time to say thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, smash that subscribe button, and tell everybody out there there's a channel out here that's simplifying these recipes and taking a mystery out of cooking. And oh my goodness, it's comfort food time. I'm out, y'all. Peace.